getcha boy. Hey boy.
I like to pride myself as someone who isn't easily swayed by the majority opinions. That I think for myself and don't let other people tell me how I should and shouldn't feel about certain topics and certain situations. Being a Black person with parents who are from entirely different cultures and backgrounds, I feel like I have gotten a more open-minded view. You may be asking, why am I saying all of this? Well, it's to give context on why I sometimes take a long time to make TikToks or videos about certain subjects. When it comes to the K-pop space, independent thinking doesn't exist. Everyone must think the same and have the same opinion. And if you dare say anything that goes against the majority opinion, people will automatically write you off no matter if you're making a good point or not. I have never been one of those people who just goes along and agrees with the majority opinions just because it's the most popular. I'm not saying that I have never agreed with the majority, or that the majority opinion is wrong, but that my thoughts are not easily swayed just because one opinion is the loudest. See, I could have just made multiple TikTok videos dragging Kiss of Life and farming this situation for likes and views just like everyone else is doing right now. But what good would that do for anyone? K-pop space has enough drama farmers. They don't need more. I, much like everyone else, was extremely disappointed by that Kiss of Life livestream. I had such a huge love for Kiss of Life, they were one of the few groups I kept up with. But even so, I feel like we as a community need to use discernment when it comes to topics like this. There were so many people spreading misinformation and straight-up lying, and when it comes to topics like this, lying does nothing but hurt everyone. So enough with the philosophical talk. Let's really get into it. Kept seeing this talking point of, two of the girls are American, they should have known better, they were literally raised in the US. When a quick Google search would tell you that Belle lived in the US until she was 8. And Julie lived there until she was 13. Those girls are more Korean than they are American. And why are we acting like just because someone was born or grew up in America means that they're immune to ignorance? Where I live, there is a sundown town a couple hours away from me, and there's white people who don't believe racism is a real thing. Americans literally just voted in a racist as president. Hell, some of you American K-pop stans are also extremely racist towards these idols. I can make a whole separate video on that if y'all want. And this isn't an excuse for ignorance, so don't even try to put words in my mouth. Ignorance isn't an excuse. Personally, I would like to think that in 2025, ignorance would be a thing in the past with how much technology has grown. But then I go outside and talk to people, something a lot of you need to do, and realize that people aren't as sensitive when it comes to cultural issues like this. And I could bet majority of you people who use K-pop idols being born in the US as some gotcha moment only ever became this culturally sensitive because you spend time in communities that foster such mindset. They grew up in America line doesn't really work when America is not and has never been a beacon of racial sensitivity. And then we had the whole soul food lie that everyone just ran with. I swear most of you have never seen soul food in your life cause nothing of what they had looked even remotely close to soul food. Plus, the girls themselves said it was Thai food at the start of the stream.
Today's menu. 오늘의 메뉴는
다 소개해주세요, 생일자님.
mango sticky rice, 똥냥꿍, pad thai, fried rice, acai bowl, and fruit.
Then you have people just straight up lying saying that Kiss of Life has done multiple problematic things. Which is just not true. I don't know why everyone is acting like Kiss of Life was the most controversial group ever. Their biggest controversy were them not being able to twerk. The only one who has a controversial history is Julie. The other girls have never had an issue up until this point. Again, a lie that is easily debunkable. And then people spreading that out of context screenshot of Belle when she said please don't leave the fandom. The OG poster admitted it was a translation error and even said they didn't speak good Korean. Which, by the way, is crazy for a translation account. But I digress. Koreans have come out and said she wasn't saying that in a disrespectful way. She was joking with a fan, and that phrase is a very common phrase in Korean, and she has used it before. I can't blame people for running with the OG translation cause, I also just ran with it. But I think we all need to understand that translations from Korean to English will never be 100% accurate. Especially when it comes to common jokes or phrases that are used in Korean that might not translate the best for English. I think we should also stop blindly following anyone who claims to be a translation account and wait until Koreans come out and clear the air themselves.
탈덕을 하지 않았으면 좋겠어.
아니에요 언니 대머리 보고 탈덕 아니에요.
대머리라니!
대머리 맞지만 없어요. 그냥
A lot of people have purposefully lost the plot. The problem was never the clothes, never the food, and was never the girl's personal background. Problem was always the way they acted. But of course, K-pop stans had to divert the conversation. 'Cause deep down you guys never cared. It was never about the racism or how they acted or their ignorance. It was always about these girls were a threat to your faves. So you were waiting on any opportunity to knock them down. Which is why you guys keep spreading lies about the livestream, keep spreading lies about the girls and refuse to correct misinformation. 'Cause at the end of the day, you don't care. None of you cared. It was always about your ego. It was always about you seeing them as a threat. Now, if you watched the video up unto this point, there's probably a few reactions you might have. Which is either you don't care, you care but is still offended, or you feel like I'm trying to play defense for a group that doesn't need it. This is the common response I've seen from people who correct misinformation. And this is exactly the point I was making at the beginning of the video. People will always drag the people who are honest and never drag the people who are lying. 'Cause the people who lie are the people who control the narrative, and anyone who controls the narrative will never get questioned. Spreading misinformation and lies does nothing to help anyone. Holding someone accountable for something they didn't do doesn't end racism or end cultural ignorance. The only thing it does is making sure that this group that you always hated has a permanent stain on them. Which is why you guys are attacking anyone who accepts their apology or chooses to stand them. 'Cause it's not about the actions, it's about you guys never liked them. I've seen people who stan groups who are repeat offenders when it comes to offending black culture. Yet people make up 10,000 excuses for them. Hell, you guys are gagging at the livestream BM had, saying this is what Kiss of Life should have done. When that man was literally making money from black anger and didn't donate a penny to any black-owned businesses or charities.
The fact that it's like so many groups that we like and indulge in and give our money to, that people are being racist, people are dressing up at us and pretending to be us, people are saying nigga left and right. Like, y'all need to understand it's not a big deal to y'all, because y'all don't have to deal with what we deal with. Okay, we already get enough hell for being black and into K-pop already, and I don't even think that's right. And I will give you your props. I'm going to give you your 10s for this, because you're actually using your platform to apologize for shit like this, because we have to be begging companies to even put out a statement. And the statement is not even written by the artists themselves. So for y'all to be in these comments talking about, oh, it's not a big deal and you're not.
But let's end it off on my personal feelings and thoughts. For one, no, I do not hate Kiss of Life, but I have withheld monetary support from them until I feel comfortable with their growth. If you feel differently, that's completely okay. I'm not here to change anyone's mind. If you're offended, be offended. If you're not offended, then continue on as usual. At the end of the day, not everyone thinks the same. The reason why I made this video is because seeing people spread debunkable lies just because they're the popular narrative at the moment is so triggering for me. To be honest, I was conflicted on if I should have made Kiss of Life the main point of this video. But I felt like they were the perfect face to make my point. As for Kiss of Life's apology, it's generic, it's very PR. I'm honestly shocked they did a handwritten apology. I see people nitpicking about how Natty writes her S, and I think that's such a non-issue. There are problems with the apology. But a woman who speaks 3 languages, miswriting 1 letter is so unimportant. And if we are really gonna go there, a lot of you have no room to nitpick apologies when most of y'all stan artists who have never apologized. And if they do apologize, it's 2 sentences written in the Notespad app, and they never say what they did wrong or what communities they offended. I see a lot of aespa stans, Twice stans, Blackpink and Baby Monster stans, and NCT stans, trying to tell Black and Mexican people what is and isn't a good apology. And as someone who stans most of the groups I just listed, please shut up. I know people are going to use this against Julie because of her previous offense, but I don't think these 2 situations are comparable. It's easy to comprehend why saying a slur is bad, but it's harder for someone who's not Black, doesn't have Black friends or Black people around her, to comprehend Black women's stereotypes, and why acting this way is indeed offensive. That's why I doubt they were doing this to purposefully mock Black women. I think they were just being ignorant and stupid. I highly doubt Julie and S2 got together and conspired to purposefully destroy their careers over something like this, especially with how hard the girls worked to get to where they are. There's really no proof they did this on purpose. The reason why I don't hold this against Julie or any of the girls, to be honest, is because there's certain behaviors we all engage in when it comes to other races that we might not even know is offensive. This should have been on the company. I'm not saying the girls are unable to do research themselves. But if I'm the company of a group and I want them to use a certain culture in their sound, I would make sure those girls go into every cultural class possible. I know I'm going to get dumb comments of people claiming I'm defending them or speaking over their feelings or whatever. But I don't care. Say what you want, I can't control how you feel or think. All I can say is use critical thinking. Overall, we'll just have to see how the girls move forward and hopefully they actually learn from this situation. That June comeback better be an entire dissertation on hip-hop culture.